does not fox smash my door.
Come on, Charles, don't do this.
Is that a bad word?
Christina Aguilera, hi. The XNDA.
You fucking look like rock stars, huh? And now we are a fucking bunch of wanko.
Michael, this is Toto. Can I just send you an email? No, Michael, that was so not right. Sorry? We went car racing.
I feel like I look like a cunt with these headphones on. Should I put the other ones back on?
Just leave them, mate. We've started.
We've started.
We've started.
What, the pod
started? Yeah, started.
Yeah.
You're supposed to do the intro. Go.
Yeah, I've been saying do
You
the
were
intro.
whining last week because you couldn't do the intro. We've given you the space, and then you're like, "Oh, is it started yet?" Go.
Oh, God, do you want me to do it then?
Go.
Hi guys, and welcome to the 3 Pre Formula Fun podcast, sponsored by Rich Energy Drinks. You're joined by my two hosts, Ben Mills, Brad Keenan, and obviously myself, Boyd Moore, the legend. How are we, boys?
Very good. I've just watching a very exciting Grand Prix.
I know, it was eventful, wasn't it? What's the highlights? What are we saying?
I think before we start talking about the F1, we should just, I think we should admit that Rich Energy Drinks aren't our sponsor. Started to get a bit nervous. That guy seems a bit of a loose cannon, and I'm a bit worried that either he's going to come around one of our houses and beat us up, or he's going to send us cease and desist.
Shall I redo the intro?
No, just leave it in there. I've gone on the record now. I've said it was just a joke, so that's it.
I think it was pretty obvious that we were joking.
Energy Drinks. Forget I said it.
And I wouldn't be sponsored by that crap drink anyway.
No,
I've still not tried it.
There's
I
other
just can't get hold of it.
There's other dodgy energy drinks out there. I used to drink one from Lidl called Kong, and it's actually got. have you seen it? Kong drink, and mate, the can looks the bollocks. It's like Red Bulled up. It's got this really matte finish on it. It looks the bollocks, mate, and it tastes
Red Kong.
It tastes exactly like Red Bull. It's amazing.
I wouldn't drink a drink that came from a man that looked like a troll. No, he looks like he's come from under a bridge and tried to offer you a magic potion.
It looks like a little witch, doesn't he?
He looks like off-Broadway Hagrid.
Yeah. Wizard of Oz witch, him on a broomstick flying around, doesn't it? Rich Energy Drinks.
But do you think he's, like, when he picked the name Rich Energy, he goes, I'm pretty goddamn rich. Yeah, I'm probably going to call it Rich Energy Drink.
It should be called Skank Drinks because he looks like a skank and he needs his beard cut. Shaming people now.
So it's basically this podcast just turned into a hate campaign against him.
Right, no, let's cut off
let's
this.
talk
Brad,
about
bring us back in the room. Come on.
Ben leads the news, and obviously we're going to be speaking about. Oh, he's got his mouth full of food. So should I do the news then?
Hang on, is it news, or are we just talking about events?
Well,
from
we had to
today's
do kind of not made up news for the last few weeks, but obviously there wasn't
shit news.
Yeah, there wasn't a Grand Prix on, but today we actually have a Grand Prix, so we can talk about that.
Which finished like 15 minutes ago.
I think the big news is that Danny Rick has finally announced that he is leaving McLaren.
Is he leaving, or has he been booted out?
No,
he's been booted out, obviously. But I felt
he's been booted out. He's not been given much of a choice.
In his Instagram video, I actually felt I felt a bit sorry for him.
Yeah, I did.
But then I just thought to myself, he's not really putting out a vibe of someone you're going to want as a driver. He just seems so defeated, like he's over. And we've all said
I'm a fighter, but I'm just going to let it be.
Yeah, but he just kept going. Did you see? He was like, we just tried so many things and just didn't get it right. It's like, well, how many times can you try something and like he's just messed it up every time? So they've just binned him off, haven't they?
Even today, like he was ahead, like he was in sixth at one point, and he just like ended up. I think he came like 14th, 15th. Like
it switched up a lot today. To be fair, all the positions, it was all over.
That whole that battle for 10th was really fun by the end. And then obviously the other news is Audi have announced that they're joining F1 in 2026, but Porsche still. It looks like Porsche are going to be teaming with Red Bull for 2026.
I was going to ask a question about it. So there's obviously 10 teams, 20 drivers. When Audi come on board, is that an additional?
They're taken over from Alfa Romeo.
Ah, right. Okay, I thought that. I thought one.
Yeah, so they're going with Sauber. So it'd be Sauber, Audi.
Have you seen the picture of the car? It looks it's pretty mental. The Audi car.
Yeah, it's just black and red, isn't it?
I don't know. I thought it looked pretty mad. But
Did you?
Yeah. Right.
Exciting.
Before we talk about the actual race today, I know we said we'd all watch the qualifiers and we'd sort of find things that we found funny. I was only able to find one thing that I thought was funny in the qualifiers, and I'm wondering if you guys spotted it as well. It was Lewis Hamilton wearing a jumper without a t-shirt underneath.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was Lewis Hamilton wearing a woolen gimp mask.
Oh, I didn't see the woolen gimp mask. It was a green.
You didn't see the woolen gimp mask? It's insane. I think I put it in the WhatsApp. So if you can have a look in that WhatsApp, it's Yeah,
it reminded me of, when years ago, I don't know if you can still get them now, but you used to be able to get like shirt tie, no, not shirt tie, like shirt jumper combos where it was just a collar from the shirt, you know, and if you got hot, you were like, well, I can't take this jumper off because that would mean I'm just topless. And he had this jumper. And I thought to myself, well, you got to be pretty sure that you're not going to get warm. Otherwise, you've just got to take it off.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing from the qualifiers I thought was interesting.
Well, I got so Max. What I thought was funny, FP2. Max got summoned to the stewards, but the way they summoned, it's like they're getting told off by a headmaster. But can you imagine like someone earning 40 million a year, or whatever, and you're just getting told off at that? I would just go.
You just have to go do one, mate.
I'll do what I want, mate. Just give me a fine.
Yeah. No one cares.
No, I think he's matured a lot. He seems calm now, like. Because because he won his championship, I don't think he gives as much of a shit as he did last year. So he seems like a very zen Max Verstappen.
We were just saying that now. I think he's so laid back and a good driver in a good car. That's just how it all just flows for him, really, doesn't it? There's he doesn't put pressure on himself.
The other thing I did see in FP2 was a guy on a jetpack flying over. I saw that.
I thought it was a cable. Yeah. Was he on a cable? An actual jetpack?
No, he was on like one of those like drone air things. He was flying over the track, and I still think he's faster than Latifi.
Fucking to infinity and beyond, mate. He's like fucking Buzz Lightyear flying around, doesn't he? Latifi had an absolute shocker again.
Oh, the guy! I've got it written down. The guy should. I don't know how he's still got a seat.
Surely he's got to be gone by the end of the season. He's got to be. He's got to go.
But like Albon and like the Gasly Albon thing, they switched him up. Red Bull. Like, surely you could just go, look, Nicholas, it's not working out. Could you please just stop racing our car? You're making us.
You know when they do those,
because Albon made that Williams look really fast today.
Where did he finish in the end? I didn't actually quite see.
I think he finished 11th or 10th.
That's a shame. I was hoping he'd get up.
Another thing I did find funny in qualifying was that the commentators just talked about bodywork tape for pretty much the whole of qualifying.
Yeah, that it wasn't matte. Like they were saying it was too shiny.
Yeah, but why have they got shiny tape? It's just like there's 20 millionaires driving around a racetrack at 100 miles an hour, and they're talking about that the tape doesn't match on the cars. It's just like that's how boring qualifying was, though.
I don't know. Yeah, I felt like I know obviously they drive ridiculously fast, but I don't know if it was the camera angles or whatever today, but they looked like they were going so fucking quick today. It was ridiculous.
They were going quite fast, wasn't it?
I think sometimes it varies, though. Sometimes you watch them and you think they're coming to a stop because I think the aerial shots, sometimes they actually look like they're going quite slow.
Yeah.
You go, they're going quite slow, and then you see them come out the corner, and then it is lightning quick.
It's ridiculous, yeah. I mean, there was that first couple of laps today was just carnage, wasn't it? They were all so tight.
Yeah, I did like Hamilton having to walk home, though. That was funny.
Yeah, that shot of him like down by the mesh fencing, just walking all that
head down.
It's like the front cover of something, wasn't it? Like, defeated or something.
It's his new album.
He actually admitted as well. Did you hear him interview him?
For him to not go, he didn't give me any safe there, mate.
Yeah. He goes, I didn't even have space. He was in my blind spot. No, I don't know. It was the worst impression.
Yeah, because normally it's just like, he turned in on me, man.
Yeah, he turned in on me, man. Didn't even have space. But now he actually admitted it, and he didn't want to talk about it either. He didn't want to hear what Alonso said. He went, I don't even want to talk about it. I was like,
the journalist proper tried to get the old shit stirring spoon out, didn't they? Did you know what Alonso said? And he was just like, I don't even want to know.
It doesn't matter what Alonso said. He goes, he's done enough. He can drive well enough. He shouldn't be doing that. But moving on, I've got one more thing on Q3, and that was Ferrari once again fucking up big time by putting Leclerc on the wrong tyres just to tow Sainz.
Yeah, but it did sort of work, didn't it? Sort of. Just
not really. It was a waste of tyres, and then they fucked up big time.
I just think today it just shows you on the positions on the grid, it means fuck all, literally. Because Max started 14th on the race, Perez started second, come second, admittedly. Sainz started first, come third. Leclerc started 16th, come fifth. It's just fucking
sixth,
or whatever. It's whatever, isn't it? Like it honestly doesn't matter.
Sorry, it's a mistake.
But that's what's worrying, really. If Max Verstappen can start 14th on the grid and pump through and win every single week, there's no stopping him.
2 weeks in a row, he started in the bottom half of the thing and won.
Did you hear that motorbike?
Yeah,
someone's just showing off.
It's just outside my window. That's going on. Sorry.
Yeah. So my race notes are pretty much that. He just turned it for Lewis Hamilton to not say he just turned in on me. All these race drivers are growing.
He knows, he's matured. Changed.
He's matured
man.
as well. Latifi, though, how he continues to get a seat, I do not know. He knocked
Mate,
Bottas
he
out
is
of
like where he started was, when you guys were saying about you could join a race
Yeah.
and you could win.
Yeah, I reckon we could beat Latifi.
When he caused that crash, I was like, that's what would happen. You just lose control straight away and then cause Bottas.
Straight in the gravel.
send
Brad, are you
Bottas
changing your
home.
mind about our debate then? That you actually think we could?
No, I
beat
don't
Latifi?
think. No,
We could beat Latifi.
I think I was wrong about whether you could drive the car. Admittedly, after James sent us those videos, I don't think you could come anything but last unless someone was to crash. If Latifi was there and he crashed, then you just needed to nurse the car around.
We
without
would have
crashing.
come. I reckon I could have gone around
But
that
I
track
think-
at in fifth gear, all the way around, knowing that I beat Hamilton and Bottas, who are Hamilton, 8-time world champion. I've beat him in that race because I just coasted around.
While we're on racing subject, then Ben, just quickly, slightly coming off piece. I heard you race James on the PlayStation today. Three
absolutely.
races,
He's thrashed
and
me.
he lapped you
thrashed
in all
me.
3 races. It's embarrassing,
He
isn't
did,
it?
yeah.
What's your name?
I was
Latifi, mate.
I Latifi'd it, but Amazon did get the Amazon arrived during one, and then I ordered some lunch in the second.
Hamilton's here with the
Oh, here we
excuse.
go.
and then James just
didn't
turned
leave you
in on
enough
me.
space, did he? He didn't leave you enough space, mate. 3 races though, mate. There's one excuse for
Well,
one. but not 3.
speaking of F1 2022, have you opened your PS5 and got it out of the box yet?
Well, you can't see it right here, but it's literally.
Hold
mate,
on, Boyd. Just if you could just run the listeners through the timeline from when I messaged you about 4 weeks ago saying
Getting
get
the
a
PlayStation.
PS5. Tell me how's that gone and where are you at now in the PlayStation 5?
Probably gone about as good as Latifi. Basically, it's been about a month. Basically, I've got it off.
When did you buy
I
it?
bought it off my mate. I haven't paid him yet. I might just never pay him.
So you haven't
He's
bought
listening to this, he's
technically you
never
haven't
getting
bought
his
it.
money. No, so he kept saying he had to wipe his profile off it and reset it and all that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? So, and he's got kids. And what are you listening to?
No, someone
Yeah, it was my little F1 app.
It
It's
sounded
my
like
F1
someone.
app on my phone.
Yeah, I heard. I was thinking.
Yeah, I was like, box.
Yeah, no. I've got to come in, boys. No, anyway, long story short, because it's fucking boring. He just kept saying he couldn't scrap it. He's had to wipe the hard drive and all that. And he said it took about 2 seconds in. So I actually finally picked it up last
But he
night.
did that, and then you've got it, and you've set it up, and it's ready to go, right?
No, it's just sitting on the side. I've got the headphones on for it now for this podcast. That's it. It's as far as I've gone. with it.
What's stopping you plugging it in?
James texted me. He said, "Get on it,
Nerves.
load your profile up, practice, download the game. See you in 2 months." That's what he said. I must say though, it's a really ugly console. It's
It is.
hideous.
It's horrible.
It looks like it's just not made properly. But whatever.
Is it supposed to stand up straight? Can you?
Yeah,
lay
it can
it
go
on-
up or down. Yeah.
You have to you have to put the clip on it to lay it on its side.
Oh,
you can stand it up on its.
That's what that thing
It's
is.
I think the Williams cars.
Yeah.
Mine's on the side, and it doesn't have that thing on it. And I was like, why the fuck does this thing not lay?
Yeah, I don't rate it as a looking console, but I guess we'll get the slim one in a couple of years. I'm just going to say what else I don't rate. I think that Perez, few good races earlier in the season, were a fluke.
No,
I think he's not as good as
he's come
Willett.
second again today.
Yeah, but that wasn't down to him being the second best race driver on the track, because I think George Russell was probably the second best race driver on the
Well,
track.
I'm going to have to interject there because Red Bull won 3 things today. They won first place, second place, and they also won my heart. So
And
Fastest lap and driver of the day.
Yeah, I'm officially.
Yeah, so they won 5 things today.
I'm officially Red Bull fan, Verstappen fan, like a football fan. I've chosen. Chosen.
You've
a
basically
tribe
chose
now.
Man City of F1, haven't you?
No, but I've been Max Verstappen since 2018.
Well, I like Max Verstappen. There's nothing wrong
Hold
with it.
on,
I
you
love
have to
him
like
tits,
take the
but-
wind out my sails.
Yeah.
Oh, I do, but I also want to hear what you think of the At Home with Horner documentary that you watched today or yesterday.
I liked how they let the dogs roam around while they were recording it.
Yeah.
That's
Well, he's
what
got
I
loads
liked.
of pay. He's got horses.
And that's why you're invested.
No, I liked it because I liked hearing his journey, and I didn't know so much about him. And then when you realise how much he's grafted, I thought actually fair play to him. He's not only is he married a Spice Girl, he's worked his way up to the top. But I didn't realise he doesn't own
the fittest one as well. The fittest Spice Girl.
Well, I'm not
in
going to
my
comment on
opinion.
that because we did gain a new fan this week, which is my wife. She listened to every single episode. She binged it, but she did take issue with one thing that we said, and that was that
slagging someone off.
no, we basically said
We said someone was attractive, didn't we?
no.
Was it the drivers
said-
when I said about their girlfriends or something?
No, it wasn't even that.
No.
It was
can only agree with that.
It was a slight on her personally that she took it out, and that is that we said 2 Keenans on a holiday is too much, and she said she's been on holiday with me and you, and we've had a great time.
Oh no,
so
she doesn't count.
She's saying
She's
the
different.
issue is Bradley and James. It's got nothing to do with being a Keenan.
No,
You're
of course,
absolute- two male Keenans.
We said that wrong then.
Two male Keenans.
Ben, how much was we both shitting ourselves?
Because I've been on holiday with you, your mum, and both your kids, and I had a really good time. And I've been on holiday with you and Vicky twice, and I've had a really good time. So the issue isn't Keenan, is it?
It's me and James.
James Keenan. It's you and James.
The brothers.
Two brothers.
The Chuckle
Ben,
brothers.
I think.
They can't be on the same line.
the no Chuckle brothers.
So, hold on, talking about the Chuckle brothers. You seen Ben's little moustache he's got going on?
Yeah. You've got
What's going on there, Ben?
The viewers need to see
Yeah,
this. You're
got a little
changing everyone.
moustache.
Who is this guy?
I don't know. It's. I've been camping. I thought, you know what,
I feel
camping
like you
needs.
camp
I felt
every
like
week, mate. What's going on?
I do.
Fucking hell.
I'm Ron Swanson now. I'm a real man's man.
Yeah,
I
but
drink
what's going to
whiskey
happen is you're
and
going to
eat
do that.
breakfast
You're going to do
foods.
that thing people with moustaches do. Is they start off by doing it to be kind of like a bit out there, and then they get used to it, and they stop. They stop realizing how ridiculous it is to have a moustache.
It looks ridiculous. I love it because I feel like Nigel Mansell.
Okay, I'm going to keep reminding you of your moustache and how ridiculous it is. I will not let you continue.
No,
down
please
this
don't.
road.
Please
don't
don't
show
let
up
me
next
get
week with that
comfortable with it.
moustache, like sort of waxing stuff, and you have little
He's
handlebars
doing
in
it.
them. Like
He's
fucking,
100.
yeah.
That's 100%.
You'll have the curly handlebars.
I am Nigel Mansell in this until
Mate, he doesn't even have a moustache anymore. I don't think.
Yeah, because he's old. He wasn't a young
And
man.
no one
The
sees-
moustache is a young man's
no one
game.
sees us on these podcasts. You might as well just shave it off, mate. Just be done with it. Do you know what I mean? There's no visibility on here. Right, we cracking on. What are we doing?
Right.
Games? What are we doing? Debates?
Yeah, let's talk about
Brad?
Ferrari now.
Let's go.
No, let's talk about Ferrari now. We're not finished talking about the race. We need to talk
Boyd's
about Ferrari.
excited about the game. It is a new game and it's a new format, but
No name.
We'll
Yeah.
just wait. It's no name game.
Yeah.
No name game.
Right. I know we've not got. We're trying to get out of the habit of punching down on this podcast, but I think we need to talk about Ferrari
Well,
because it feels like they're actively trying to fuck Charles Leclerc out of any.
it wasn't
like,
that bad
winning.
today, to be honest. Come on, it was.
Mate. Come
No.
on. Firstly, on qualifying, they pretty much. I know he had to lose those track positions, but they wasted a set of tires on
Yeah,
it. And then today, they're like
they're just asking him what he wants.
he
to do,
had to
innit?
pit. He had to pit within the first. He had to pit on the first lap because like he got something caught in his suspension. And then they were asking him on the radio what he wanted to do. And then they were like going, we're going to go for P5 now, actually. And he's like, why? I can probably win. I can race harder.
Yeah, they're not
Let me
very
stay out
good
of
at
the
just
tyres.
getting on with it. Whereas like the Red Bull team, they go, Max, this is great, stay out, carry on as you are, and then they communicate
Yeah.
better. They're just like, what do you want to do? And he's just like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Sorry, you make a mistake.
What's the? I'm letting my Ferrari knowledge. People realise I don't have very good Formula 1 knowledge at all. What's the Ferrari guy called? The team principal?
Binotto.
Vicky's convinced he wears a wig.
You reckon
Yeah,
it's a wig?
she was like, surely
I
that's a
think
wig. And
he's-
then I looked at it and I thought, he does take himself quite seriously. So if he was balding, he probably would get a wig.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that what he's done is he's not actually Italian, and he's gone into Amazon. He's bought an Italian dress up kit,
What-
and he's bought that, and he's going, how
It was
to
a
look
choice
more
of that
Italian
between
in
Rich
Google.
Energy's beard or the hair, and he's just chose the hair.
Yeah.
hasn't
He didn't. He,
He's going, I'm look more Italian. So it looks like fucking Mario.
yeah, got himself a moped. Got himself. I tell you what. The first time I went to Italy, you know, when you travel somewhere and you imagine in your head what it's going to be like, you think, I wonder what it's going to be like, and then you turn up and it's nothing like that. When I went to Milan, it started off when I went to the airport, and then when I got picked up by a taxi driver, I threw my bags in the back, and the taxi driver had Louis Vuitton luggage in the back of his taxi. My luggage was touching his luggage, and he moved it and made a huff. Right, that was the start of our relationship. And then when I got into Milan,
Into Milan, what the football team?
in my mind, I was like, I bet Milan is just like people riding around on scooters, shouting at each other, drinking coffee. That's exactly what it is.
But
Yeah.
it'd be,
Yeah,
it'd
it's
be a bit
exactly
of
that.
Barbie.
So I reckon he looked at that and he was like, I need to just basically do that. Got the wig.
Revving the bike after his second
and I've
shot
been
of fucking coffee going, come on.
I've been to Italy a fair few times, and I've been to loads of different places. There's a lot of dog shit on the floor in Italy. Like they don't.
All right,
clean
let's
up
not
after
go
the
down the
dogs.
route of just like
Anyway,
alienating an entire country.
It's not lights out,
Central
it's
Italy.
not lights out, it's espresso's out.
Espressos, right? So, and then obviously at the end they were like, let's go for the fastest lap.
That was hilarious.
And then, firstly, nearly they ended up in sixth
No, he
anyway,
got
but they
fifth.
nearly
Did you not
lost
see he
his
got
sixth.
back?
Yeah, no, but then he ended up
How?
sixth because he got a speeding penalty
fuck's sake.
because he angrily went into the pit at the end of
And
the
he didn't get
race.
fastest lap. He got his fastest lap, but he
Poor
didn't get a
bastard.
point.
No. It was like what they did is they nearly ended up seventh because of that.
Fine.
That was absolutely. But Science, absolute gangster. He is amazing. I rate Science so much. He was so good.
But do we all agree that there's no stopping Max Verstappen this season?
No, he's
There's
an
nothing
absolute-
can happen.
I think even if the wheels fell off his car,
I
he'd
think we
still
need to
win.
give him a little golf clap.
Go on, Max. Yeah, pretty good day.
That
Pretty
was
good
fan.
day, guys. Pretty
good
good.
day.
That wasn't
It was
bad.
bloody
Considering
amazing.
we were like 14.
I reckon that last,
That was so
the last
good, wasn't it?
15 laps, I reckon he was bored out of his mind.
Yeah.
He was just going
After
round.
lap 7,
I reckon he was texting.
I literally almost feel like he's driving that car. It's almost like he can like shout across the other drivers and he just goes, "Get out of my way," like that, and he just flies past.
Well, there's no point fighting him, is he? He's so fast.
But could we see a rivalry now between Checo and him, because they're number 1 and number 2 in the drivers' championship now, and
he flew past. Checo.
I know, but Checo let
He
him
was
go
50.
past.
I
He
don't
would
know
have-
though, but they're in the
he
same
would have
car.
flown
He was
past
still
They
mad.
would have already discussed that. They would have.
I mean,
they would
after
have discussed
7
that. Given
laps-
that he started in second place, they'd have discussed that.
Mate, he was 14th, and after the 7th lap, he was basically first. It was ridiculous.
But he's just the best.
I'm saying they would have discussed that not on the radio,
Yeah.
and he put up no fight not letting him pass. But I think if you're in second place, like he's got more points than anyone else. He's second in place, right? So he must be thinking to himself, "Well, I got the car. I'm second. Why can't I win?" And that's when the wheels start to fall off.
Yeah, after they're all friendly,
that's what
like,
happens.
chatting after the race, there's going to be at some point you just look across and go, "Right, it's on now, mate. After today."
Well, currently
I'm not taking it easy.
it's Verstappen's got 258 points, Leclerc's got 178, and Perez has got 173. So there's no way Perez or Leclerc are going to
He's
catch
too far gone, isn't he?
Verstappen. But it's just a race for second place now. And I think because I reckon Verstappen's going to win it in Brazil. That's when I reckon he's going to win it. I reckon after that, that's when Checo's going to be like, "Let me win something because you've already won," and that's when it's going to come into like,
Yeah, Max will
let me
go, "I'll
go.
start at
I'm
the back
going."
in every race. Fuck it, just for a bit of a laugh," and he'll still win all
Yeah.
of them.
It's just like,
"Oh, I've come first again."
Give me a new engine. I don't care.
Because don't they? When they take those new engines, they get to store them. So they have, like in the olden days of F1, they could have as many engines as they wanted. But now, if they do a replacement, the one they replace it with, I think they get to keep it. So it's a bit strategic. So they've got an extra one. So yeah, they can just keep hoarding engines.
I'll tell you, it would be interesting though if you did just put Max in a car for like 3 races in like a Haas or a Williams, just to see where he'd come or what would happen.
Well, that Williams was the fastest car on the straights.
It was
today.
quick. That Alpine though is so quick, isn't it?
Yeah,
I still think Alonso's made
I
a
know we
mistake.
said
I
this
feel like
every
Alonso's a
episode, but
mistake,
Alonso
mate.
has made
I
a
would have
mistake.
stayed there.
Yeah, 100%.
Weird.
Yeah. But then what does he know? Like, he's going to Aston Martin. He must have some kind of like,
Yeah,
I think
mate,
this
his
is
fucking
gonna
bank
happen
balance,
next
that's what's gone up.
Doesn't care, does he?
Lawrence
Come
Stroll's
here
like,
for 20 million quid for a
I
season.
think you need to come over. I got a lot.
Yeah, they
to
give it the old,
offer
they're going
this
places.
season.
Why is he? Why is he a
Fernando.
New York mafia boss?
This is how Lawrence Stroll
He is an
talks. Have you heard Lawrence Stroll talk?
Yeah,
he
he's
talks
Canadian.
a lot like this, but he talks
No,
like
doesn't
this.
say anything.
He does. When you listen
I
to
don't
him
like him,
talk,
though.
this is me.
He's
But
got.
I
He's
don't
got.
like- I think he's a bit of an
He's
asshole.
got a Donald Trump vibe about him. The way he bowls around. He
Yeah.
just got that kind of like he's out.
Billionaire
They
bastard.
Yeah,
give it the
he's
old
like-
like. I've seen
Yeah,
what
it's
they're
exactly
doing
that.
this. I've seen what they're doing this season. It's got some really exciting things coming up for next year. It's like no, there's a big paycheck coming your way. You're going to get 20 million quid for like a season, then you're done. That's it. Later.
Yeah, you're going to retire. Yeah, I think that's it. But talking of Aston Martin, I'm going to have to admit this, that I'm starting to rate Lawrence Stroll as a driver.
I've done a bit better this week. I love my job.
He's been. I love my
I
job.
want to hear you say it, Brad.
I hate
does
him.
sound like him.
I want to hear you say it,
I
Brad.
hate him, but I rate him as a
You
driver.
hate him.
He's been
Hate
doing.
him or
he's-
rate him. That's a good name for a game.
hate
hate
him.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hate him or
him.
rate him. I hate him and I rate him as a driver. I think he's doing. He's been racing really well. He's holding his own and he's racing really well. But is that the car? Is that why Alonso's going? Because he knows he can do better in that car.
I've
I
got no
literally don't
grip.
think Alonso cares.
No, Alonso just wants to shag everyone's wife And
Shaming.
Let's not start another hate campaign
come on.
because you've got to remember
For
the
like
whole
million,
reason why we
mate.
do this podcast is because we want to get press passes, right? If we keep
Yeah.
saying bad
And I wanna
things,
go to-
if we keep saying bad things about people, we'll get a press pass. We'll turn up, we'll get beaten up.
Oh, I'll
It'll
tell
be
you.
like, oh, there's those.
I will fight.
tell you something I
Fernando
noticed
You're not
yesterday.
fighting anyone with that moustache.
I'll
you
fight-
boys-
I mean,
I'll
no one's
fight
going to
for
fight
that. I'll be
you.
like that. I'll wax my moustache. I'll be like,
Boys,
Queensbury
did you see him
rules.
interviewing? Did you see him interviewing Gunther? Did you see him interviewing Gunther yesterday? And then they
got
were
that in my
asking
notes,
him about
mate.
the drivers. He goes, "Are we talking drivers here? Or are we talking about the actual practice?" He got all that sort of.
What are we talking about? I tell you what, because I was on one of the Facebook groups, and everyone's going, "Why are they always interviewing Gunther at
Because he's the
qualifying?"
best.
Because he's got nothing to do because
They're all stacked
all
it,
his
they're shit,
drivers
yeah.
are out. Yeah, Q2 and Q3, Gunther's doing nothing. That's when you interview him.
It's quite funny when is it Brundle? Is it Brundle? Isn't it? Yeah, I can't, he goes down the grid trying to interview everyone, and loads of people just want to bin him off. And he goes, "Can
Mate,
I
love
get
it.
a quick 1 minute?"
I
And they're
didn't-
just like, "No, go away."
I didn't see it today because I
Stormzy!
literally joined. Oh yeah, he did, didn't he? That was bad. Yeah, when he goes down the grid and he tries to talk to famous people,
It's
and
awkward,
all
isn't it?
those, it's so awkward. And famous people are weird. Like they're weird. They look at everyone as, is this an opportunity for me to get an Instagram picture? And they look at him and think, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
So they just bin him off.
Yeah.
Like Beckham binned him off the other week.
Like Cruz
Looked at him
binned
like
him
a-
off as well, didn't he? Like he goes,
Yeah.
"Tom, who you backing? Who you backing?" He just went, "Lewis, always Lewis." And he went, "Right." He went all red and that. His microphone up. Ran
Do you
off.
think Lewis is secret Scientologist?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think it might be because it's just like Cruz is there an
I
awful
think
lot.
he's still in Africa, mate. That's why
I reckon they're.
No, he's trying to recruit him. He's
Yeah.
getting his tapes out. He goes, Lewis, come here. Can you just tell me all your deepest...
He's got his little
Yeah.
e-meter out. He's like, hold these little bits of metal.
Tell me all
warrior."
your deepest, darkest secrets, just for a minute. Just for a minute.
So
I might have got another motorbike
I
in the
don't know if you
background.
guys know about Xenu, but he's kind of a big deal.
Mate, Scientology got the money. Can you imagine if they created a team and Lewis was in it?
Oh mate,
Scientology team.
Yeah, I would back Scientology all day long. They are
Who else would be in
just
it?
like
What other racer would be a Scientology?
well, Perez is a suppressive person. He's an SP, so we won't be talking about him. So actually, we won the race because the rest of them are SPs. So
I don't understand what you're saying, but who else would be a Scientology?
in Scientology, they call people who aren't Scientologists SPs, which is suppressive personality.
Right, so Checo can't get in Scientology. He's not.
No, and no one. I think Lewis Hamilton's the only person on that grid that they would even think about having in there because he's kind of open.
Toto get in. Toto and Hamilton,
Toto-
they're both in it. No, he likes his
I
money
think
too
Toto's
much.
too smart. Toto would be like, nah, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which
I feel like I tried to
Scientology.
navigate you away from starting enemies, and then started the enemies with Scientologists, which is the worst people to start.
and Alonso.
This has been quite long news today. This has been a long news today.
It's 'cause stuff happened, boys.
We just had something. We've had Formula One for the
It
first
shows
time
that
in
we
a
did quite
month.
well in the previous week, so when we were scraping the barrel, wasn't it? Like, I don't know.
We're literally scraping the barrel. And once more, I like to segue into scraping the barrel that McLaren ended up on Plan G today.
Nice. They're just looking at the alphabet.
They run out of ideas. They went, we're going to have to
You know,
try
it's
Plan
like,
G
pin the tail on
today."
the donkey. It's like there's an alphabet when someone spins something around and it fucking goes up and pins it on. It goes, right, it's plan fucking F. Go to that one.
I noticed two things about McLaren today. One was the editing of Sky Sports was fantastic because they kept showing Danny sitting on the floor listening to his music by himself, and then they were cutting back, and then it was like everyone else together, like one big happy family, but he wasn't in the shot.
He's reflecting his time. He's reflecting about what
He's
he's
just
doing.
like
Lando.
It's shame
Hey,
it's finished like
Lando.
this.
Lando.
We'll see, innit? We'll see what happens. But I mean, yeah, Lando was nowhere to be seen today, bless him. But you know,
And I like I said earlier, like this week in the chat, Lando did a bit dark this week, man. He's been slagging off Danny Rick in the press, like really like. Yeah, he was making like faces behind him like during one of the interviews. He's just been a bit of a baby.
I think you called it, Ben, though, when you said that Ricardo wants to do one more season and then have it on his terms, saying I'm going to leave at the end of the season. Because at the moment he's basically been sacked, isn't he? Politely.
Yeah, 100%.
He's been kicked out.
I did notice that Lando looks a little bit like the kid from Stranger Things. You know the kid who in the first thing, he didn't have teeth. If you put long curly hair on him, he would be that kid.
Oh, Dustin Norris.
Right. Is there anyone in the F1? Anyone in the F1 left that we haven't said bad things about?
Slacked off. Ben, is that your real laugh? I feel like that's not a real laugh.
Fake
It is. It's my F1 laugh.
Yeah,
I've got
fun
one
laugh.
for each sport. My conspiracy laughs a bit more. Yeah, no, it's my F1 laugh. I think we've slagged off pretty much everyone on the grid and and the team principals. So should we move on to the game then?
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we can. I haven't put as much effort into the game this week as I usually do, but I do think it's a good game. Really,
We've overshot it on the
most of
news anyway, so it's
Well, I knew I had the Dragon's Den thing coming up, and I invested a lot of time thinking about
Yeah.
that. And then I remembered I had to do a game as well. I haven't got a name for it, so this is going to be called The Game with No Name.
yeah.
Okay, or Bradley Keenan's Plan G.
We'll
Or
call it
Brad, should
Plan
we just
G.
call it Brad Sharp's game, Funhouse?
So this,
Yeah, you need
House.
a mullet.
have you guys ever played?
Brad House.
Have you guys ever played Two Truths and a Lie?
No.
No.
It sounds pretty
Okay, well the
self-explanatory.
rules.
Is this like Would I Lie?
Yeah,
is this like Would I Lie to You, the
I
TV
basically
show?
tell you three things, and you have to tell me
Yeah.
which one of them is a lie.
Okay, so it's Would I Lie
Now,
to
I've
You
used
then?
three of the main characters of F1, the team principal, so
Okay.
Gunther Steiner, Toto, and Christian. I'm going to tell you three facts
Okay.
about them, and you have to tell me which one you think is a lie.
Can you do
And
it in
then-
their
yeah,
voices,
okay.
though, when you do it?
No,
Let's
because I
make
don't
it
do
work.
impressions.
Oh.
You can, though.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to start with Gunther Steiner. So basically, you
Okay.
get 20 points for each one that you get right.
With the million bonus point, we know the rules.
I don't know. I haven't decided how many bonus points you're going to get. The bonus point one, I think it might be a bit
It's
obvious.
3-1
It's
currently.
3-1. Okay,
Yeah.
so fact number one: he began his career as a mechanic in the World Rally Championships for Mazda Rally Team Europe from 1986 to 1988. Gunther Steiner. Fact one.
Okay.
Fact two: Gunther Steiner.
This is obviously a load of
Well,
bullshit.
it's not
Yeah,
fact two
get rid
then.
of that.
It's definitely
Get
not
rid
fact
of that.
two then.
Just say LOL.
Fact two, not it.
Okay.
There you go. Right, what's fact three?
Gunther once referred to Fernando Alonso as a crybaby. I might be laughing because I think it's true.
Could be true.
Um,
could be.
So Gunther once referred to Fernando Alonso as a
Was he on
the
this
exact
podcast?
words were "little crybaby."
Ooh.
Fact number
Oh,
three:
He is a little cry.
he was promoted to the director of engineering when he worked for Ford World Rally Team alongside Colin McRae and Carlos Sainz Senior.
Senior. Ooh.
So one of those.
That is a tough. That's
Now,
tough,
just remember
isn't
that
it?
I'm a game master, so I might have tried to throw a little curveball in there.
So we got to point out the,
Yeah, I
the
think you might have
bullshit.
done.
Yeah, which one do you think's not true out of those?
Oh, number two.
Okay.
I reckon he could call someone a little fucking clay baby. Innit? You just don't know.
Yeah, think about it.
I think
I'm gonna go
Fernando's
the-
a
oh,
little
I'm gonna
cry
go-
baby. I've been
I'm
saying
going to
it for
do
a
my
long time.
usual.
All he
I'm going to
does
do
is
my
wah,
usual
wah,
here and
wah,
just go
wah.
a little bit different to try and make up some ground, like I normally do on Ben, but it never seems to work. He's good at defending. I'm going to go with the first one, the rally driver thing.
Okay, you're wrong, Boyd.
Yeah, I
It
thought-
was he didn't call Fernando Alonso
Yeah, I
a
thought so.
crybaby.
He's a little
thought-
cry
look, I had
baby.
to- I just had
I've been
to go
saying it for
different.
years.
Yeah.
I've been saying
Had
it
to go
for all the time. Fernando is just a cry, like wah wah
That's
wah
right.
wah.
Okay, Toto Wolff.
Right,
so
so
Wolff started his motorsport
20
career
nil.
in 1992 in the Australian Formula Ford Championship, driving in Austrian and German Formula Ford in 1993. So he started as a driver. Fact number one. Fact number two.
He started. That was the fact. He started as a
Yeah,
driver.
in the Austrian Formula Ford Championships.
Okay.
Okay. Don't be looking on Wikipedia. Is that what you're doing?
I'm not.
Ben,
Stop cheating.
Wow, I'm
I can
looking
see you
right
scrolling.
at you.
You're scrolling something. Yeah.
put your hands up, you little cheat.
You
I'm
know-
just turning myself down.
Okay, good.
He's actually done
Okay,
it as well.
so good. Toto has a wide investment portfolio that includes a majority stake in the Austrian basketball team, the Vienna Eagles, which is
what?
Yeah.
Viennese worlds.
which, and I thought Eagles was
All
gonna,
right. We said Viennese
no,
worlds.
it's the Vienna basketball team called the Vienna Eagles, and I thought Eagles was Eagles. It's actually German for hedgehog, which I thought was really interesting.
The Viennese.
Yeah, if any
hedgehogs.
German people are listening to this podcast, please tell me how I pronounce it. It's probably wrong. Das Eagles, the hedgehogs.
Yeah, das
And then
ist
the third
Eagles.
fact is Wolff actually taught business at Harvard as part of an MBA course to highlight his leadership and organizational and culture abilities.
Wow, could be. I ain't got a clue on that.
Oh, I think it might be that one. I'm going to say 3.
Well, you think that's the lie?
That's the
Okay.
lie.
What was 1 again? Sorry. Oh, he's
So he started his career as a Formula Ford driver in the Austrian and German Formula Ford in 1993. And the second fact was Toto has a wide investment portfolio that includes a majority stake in the Austrian basketball team, the Vienna Eagles. This is the Vienna Hedgehogs.
The Austrian, that's the, yeah. Okay.
I'm going to go 2
3
then.
or
He's
2.
gone 3.
Okay.
The bastard, yeah.
Sticking with that bit, Ben, yeah? Boyd, you get 20 points.
Yeah!
Of course. There's no Vienna basketball team.
That was a good lie. That is a very good lie, Brad. I think you
Yeah, that
deserve
was
some
good
points for that
acting, mate.
lie. That was a good lie.
Okay, so we're neck and neck.
Dog.
Okay, Christian Horner.
Neck and neck.
See, I can't remember the lies that I've made up, so it makes me laugh. So I've got to stop. Okay, Christian Horner has.
Yeah, lie. Brad's lies.
I'm going to change the order up. Okay, Wolf visited. No, that's the wrong one. Horner was so Horner was appointed an officer in the Order of the British Empire. So he has an OBE. Is my first fact. So he doesn't mention it. Most people with OBEs go on about it a lot, as we know.
Lewis Hamilton.
Christian Horner.
Lewis Hamilton
doesn't have time for hobbies, but when he does have time, he loves reading about Greek mythology. And the final fact is in 1996 he was a race driver in British Formula 2 and he moved up to Formula 3000 in 1997.
2 is bullshit.
The lie.
I want to get in
2 is bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah, the lie is 2.
You both going the same
2.
one.
Ben, go
Which
say
is
different. I got there first.
No, the lie is 2 because I want to win.
He rides
I'm gonna
horses
go,
with Jerry
Chris, you're
Horner
so
in his
boring.
spare time. Don't he? 2.
Lie 2. Lie 2.
2 is bullshit.
2 is the lie.
Okay, so Christian Horner has. This is the lie, but what I actually wrote, which gives it away, is Christian Horner has little time for hobbies, but when he has a minute, he loves reading about Greek mythology. And that's all I went with. So yeah, you guys are neck and neck. You both got 40 points. So really, we're going to make the bonus question also for 20 points, and it's the first person to tell me how many Instagram followers Christian Horner has without looking.
178,000.
Okay. Boyd?
200,000.
Boyd wins,
Yes.
but he has 1.9 million.
Fuck!
Instagram
You went so
followers.
low. I just thought I've got to go above that. And it's going to win me the points. Get in 3-2.
Congratulations,
3.2.
Boyd. You win this week's
3.2.
game.
The gunge is cool. Watch out, mate. You're going to get
3-2.
gunged, mate.
The gunge. We've still got 8 weeks left though, mate.
We have to figure out how to do the gunge. I can't see that gunge was any good for you.
I think you can do like a gun. There is like places you can go.
We'll have the
gunge.
gunge it and then put it on the Instagram page, a live video of the gunge. And we'll get about 10 likes. It's fine.
I think we'll do an all-in-one room episode before the end of the season anyway. So,
Mate, I'm coming for you, though, mate.
IRL episode.
IRL.
Second,
yeah.
I'm up
Could be
your
All
ass.
right, so that's the game. So what we
Well
at
done, mate.
3-2 then?
Let's clap
Nice.
that one out. Let's give it a clap, Ben.
I don't think that was the best game I've done because it was so obvious.
It was a good game. I like the
I
game.
just need to get better at
I like the game.
keeping a straight face and telling a lie.
Turn the camera off then, isn't it? Oh, no,
Yeah.
I'm laughing.
I think
Yeah.
maybe what you need to do. No, what you need to is get someone else to read them.
No, because
So get like one of the kids to read them.
Yeah,
Vicky, special guest.
No,
Yeah.
she
We
won't do
just
it.
established we can
podcast.
have 2 Keenans on this show now. As long as
As long
it's
as
not
one
Jane
is
Keenan,
female.
we're fine.
we'll see. So let's move on to the final feature of the day, which is
Is it-
our debate, which is this week is the
debate.
Dragon's Den episode. I was going to get some Dragon's Den music. Have you got the theme tune there, Ben? Can you just play it?
No,
Oh, is
Just
it?
YouTube
Hum
it,
it.
fire it up.
I'll just YouTube it 1 second.
I'll fill this
drag
Talk
Well,
amongst
mate, so-
yourself.
Yeah, so basically what the theory is we're going to pitch a business idea and then the other two get to decide who. Yeah.
Right, you talk over.
Okay, and first of all, we're going to welcome to the den Boyd Moore. Actually, no, we won't go Boyd Moore first.
Boyd
I will
Bannatyne.
lead. Okay, you can stop doing that. Ben, stop doing that now. It's really horrible. That didn't work.
I don't really want to go first, if that's all right, 'cause I'm normally the one.
Yeah,
that
I'll
comes
go
first.
I'll go
I'll go
first. So,
second.
You're really proud
Actually,
of
I'll
your
go
idea,
last.
aren't you?
let me tell you what happened with my idea, right? So, as you know, I'm a businessman by trade, and I am an ideas guy.
He was just to throw that in there, didn't he?
You are.
I'm an
I've got my own
ideas guy.
business.
Yeah, and I've got a couple of successful businesses under my belt. So what happened was, as I started to think about the ideas, I couldn't help but actually come up with really good ideas that I then had to scrap. Right, as businesses I may do at one point, because I was like, if I put this idea out there and someone does it, I'll tell one of you guys the business idea of this. It will blow your mind. So I had to keep one that actually I did like, and then that's what I'm going to go with. But over the week, I've become more attached to it that I almost don't want to put it out there.
Just
Okay.
do it.
Someone
Just
stole my
follow
sunbed
the
idea
So
anyway. So
here's the idea. I'm not going to talk about how much money I'm raising for 10% of the company and all that, right? So here's the idea. You know how people who like watching Formula One typically they lean more towards being a bit more capitalist, got a bit more money. They're like their own, there's an ego thing that comes with Formula One, right? Do we agree with that?
Yeah.
Do we agree with that, Dragons?
Yes.
Now, how would you like to have your name on a Formula One car during a race? Anything you want. You can have anything you want on a Formula One car. Do you like the idea of that?
Okay.
So I know that Ben works in the creative industry and Boyd works in the outdoor advertising industry. So I combined those two things. Now, here's the idea. You buy a lottery ticket, right? And every week there's a draw on a Wednesday live on TV, right? So we get advertising revenue because you've got to check in to see if you've won. And there's different prizes that are sponsorship opportunities on Formula One cars, right? So you might get a draw for just have your name like that big on the car, or you could win a full car takeover. £5, right? It's gambling.
Car
so you
raffle.
pay a £5 for a ticket, a raffle.
Yeah, it's raffle. Yeah, it's a raffle,
right?
isn't it? Yeah.
And now if you get top prize, you can pick a Formula One car, right? And you can have anything you want on the Formula One car. So you could literally just get a picture of your face, you guys going like that, or you could slag off other drivers. You can have anything you want. It's your car, or you can donate that to charity. Now, here's the business, right? So everyone's going to want to do. Everyone's going to want to. Everyone's going to want to do it, but the way you get the Formula One to agree to do it is the total amount that you get from the raffle ticket sales are twice as much as the advertising revenue. So we split that 50-50 between the team and us. It's a winner, right?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
What would you have on the car? Like if you won it, full car takeover, you can have Hellfire Creative. You could do it.
Oh, I don't think I'd use it for any personal gain other than I would do that. I would just be like, I would have a picture of Lewis Hamilton with "He turned in on me."
I'd have George Russell all over mine.
Well, no matter what car.
I would no. What I would do is I would get the Ferrari and I would just put Max
No, I'd have
Verstappen's
me
face
like
all
just
over
a
it.
pair of pants doing like a David Brent sort of like stance, and imagine that like pumping
But
round.
but it's got to fit. It's got to fit on a race car, so it's got to be something that will fit.
We'll get
Look funny as it goes past. It's got to make
imagine
sense.
seeing a
as it goes past.
half-naked
If it's
man in
you,
his pants, looking like my weird white
but
body
you'd have to be on
flying
the,
down.
it'd be like you
fucking
laying down.
the corner.
Maybe laying down
Exactly.
like that.
I'm up for it.
I'd have my face on the DRS
Yeah,
on the wing.
the
though.
wing's prime
So
placement for it. You can have anything you want. Or you can
Yeah.
have like your mouth, so you have it on the bit where it opens, so it looks like your mouth.
And then on the
opens.
DRS
yeah.
flap at the back, I'd have me and my face like sticking my fingers up because the person behind me would be like seeing it when the flap goes down. You know what I mean? That would be a good little one.
Yeah,
Well, there's
I
my
like that.
idea. So wait until the end, until you.
It's a good
We'll
idea.
vote at the end.
I've got
Who's
a wad
going
of
next?
cash sitting next to
Okay.
me, Brad.
Boyd wants me to
mine's
go. I
mine's
think,
shit
'cause he wants
anyway,
to
so
go
I
last.
always save the shit until last.
My one actually is it's all right, I think, but my idea is F1 Life Engineer, and it's an app on your phone that tells you updates on your current location, your calendar, your health stats in the voice of your favorite F1 race engineer. So you get like Bono coming through. He goes, Ben, you've just completed a workout, and just to let you know that you have burnt 138 calories. And he goes off, and it's just that in your ear. It's just nice little. So you got little race engineers just going through every day. You've just walked past Waitrose. They've currently got an offer on gin and tonics. If you
Right,
go in
so
there,
you're
you can
looking
go
to
and get
develop the
eight.
most sophisticated AI the world has ever seen, right?
Yeah, it's basically Waze meets Health
Siri.
App meets Siri. Yeah, but with the voice of your favorite F1 race engineer.
Where's the revenue? I explained where my revenue is going to come from.
Well, it'd be ad based, wouldn't it? So obviously, Waitrose would be like, "Oh, we want to." When people walk past Waitrose, we want to throw up this ad for them. You know, like Waze does their ads. Like when you go, like, "Oh, there's an Audi on the way. Do you want to stop there?" Like, so that's how the ad revenue would work. So people would
Brad's
you
just
pay
taking
for.
this piece. Brad, if Brad was a
No,
dragon, I'd be like,
I
for that
think-
reason, I'm out.
Yeah, but I was trying to make you've done what Boyd did when he come up with more protection. Your AI is his lasers.
Yeah.
You've got to develop.
I know.
Something really sophisticated.
I just thought he had to come up with an idea. I didn't know he had to actually
Brad's
physically
actually going,
build
where's the
it.
revenue? Like, he's
Yeah.
proper going deep here, isn't he?
Where's the revenue? I'm like, this is my idea.
Brad's
You
done
get a
what I
little-
did with my script
and it goes
last
like
week.
box Ben, and like it go if my heart rate drops, and like I'll like go box Ben, you're about to have a heart attack. Box
We've got to retire your body. You're going to literally keel over. Chill out, mate. Yeah.
That's what
You've drunk too much,
I thought
box
it was
box.
funny because
And who would you have if you're going to have a voice?
I think I'd have Bono. He's got the best one. He's the best voice, I think. That's Lewis Hamilton's
Oh
guy.
yeah, Lewis, that was a great drive, mate. Well done, Lewis. That
Great
was
race there,
great,
Lewis.
mate.
Box Ben.
Thanks, guys. Keep
You've
pushing.
Ben, you've just done an 18.7 minute mile walking home
Have you
from
heard
work.
Gasly's like guy on the radio? He goes, Gasly, keep going. I can't actually do it. He goes, mental, doesn't he? Oh, it doesn't.
There's some really funny ones. I think Leclerc's one's the race engineer is quite funny
Oh, mate,
because they
they
go,
just-
"I'm really sorry,
Cheers,
we're really sorry, mistake, sorry, mistake,
Stay out. Ooh, you stupid.
stay out. Why did you tell me to bug?" Yeah, no, that's my idea. Is that you get just a little race engineer because
And
I
what's
thought
it
it'd be
called?
funny if you just had someone go. It's called Life Engineer. Yeah, I didn't think of a name. I just thought of the idea because
Are you ready for my absolute
yeah,
load of
sorry,
bullshit,
guys.
then, boys?
is this? But if it's if it's another all or nothing, mate, I think we're going to in for a winner because All
It's
or
just
Nothing is still the
pathetic.
best movie
It's not
that's
even
never
that
going to be
good
made.
idea, really. I don't.
But
I'm not
hold on, Boyd. Before
I'm
we
going to step away from the
before-
microphone
before
in
we
case
start,
it's really good.
Did you fundamentally understand the challenge?
Yeah, well, I've just
You've
got
not
to
got
come up with
confused
something
this
to
week.
it's like you want something someone's going to invest in. That's it.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
F1. Okay.
But I don't know if this has already sort of been done. That's the thing.
Stop.
Right, so are you ready? So let's
It's a website where you put your things up for sale
sit
and
back,
people
get
bid
a
on
cup
them.
of tea and a rich tea, have a little
Imagine
dunk.
going on Dragon's Den and starting off with going, guys, I don't know if this has been done before. I'm just
Peter
gonna put it
Jones
out
wouldn't be
there.
liking that one, would he?
I haven't done the research.
What are their names? Peter Jones, Bannertoes. Who's the Deborah? Is it Deborah Mead?
I
Mead,
don't watch it. The angry woman. There's the
I
angry
like her.
woman.
They've always got that wad of cash just sitting next to them. Was it like 100k on each like little fucking coffee table?
My favourite thing was when Harry Enfield and Paul Whitehouse did their take on it, and
Yeah,
it's just like the
sweating.
instant
I would just
sweat
go in
was so
there.
good.
Boyd.
I'd probably just.
Welcome, Boyd. Welcome to the den.
All right. Oh, thank
Pitch
you,
your
Bradley.
idea.
Thank you, Ben. So my idea was, so obviously it's kind of like it's quite healthy, health and safety for the drivers. Like when they're in the car and they lose all that weight and they sweat a shitload in the car and that when they're going around, they weigh themselves at the ends. So I was going to come up with an air conditioned suit that they wear throughout the race. Right? It's called CRS, cooling reduction suit. Right? Already.
You mean a cooling increase
cooling
heat
reduction.
reduction suit?
Oh, heat reduction. Shit.
Well, you want to reduce it?
I've already
Yeah,
fucked it.
HRS,
Anyway,
it's fine.
fuck the name. So, like underfloor heating. You have underfloor heating. You've got those little
Yeah, it's got
tiny
the
little wires,
Yeah.
right? Yes, I know, but
It's
it's
the
like the
opposite.
little tubes everywhere, all inside the overalls, right? And it looks like the Michelin Man, back in the day. So it's quite funny. It's big and white. So it's all in there, embedded in there, and it's sort of complete flex, so you can move it. And then there's a little hole down by your right or your left hip where you basically. It's almost like screwing in a little hose pipe, right? So you have a canister inside the cockpit, which lets off the cooling gas. So every 15 minutes, it turns on for 5 minutes during the race, and then clips back off. And
So specific.
what's that?
I think it should be like
All right,
DRS.
whatever then.
You can only turn it on
In the heat,
if you're a second behind the car
reduction
in front,
zone,
and
you
go,
ping it
"Oh,
on,
could you
and
put it-"
then you obviously invest in the canister that's installed into the car, and it comes with the suit. So you get in. You do radio check, you do your checks, you clip in, you do your cooling check to make sure it's there. So then on each lap, it's enabled after the second lap. Let's keep it in with the DRS. And then you press the little button, it keeps them cool so they don't overheat. And they obviously got their drinks as well. And I think that was quite a good idea because it's quite it's like a health and safety thing.
What do you mean they've got drinks in the car?
They've got their little water,
have a little
water pack,
camera
haven't they,
pack
as well
thing,
as
don't they?
cooling. Because some of these.
Do they need this though?
They get pretty
They
hot.
do get hot, mate. They sweat and they go, the heat's going to be
Yeah.
unbelievable today and all that. And when they're in Abu Dhabi and all that, if you could do that and have a little 5 minute of aircon boost while you're blasting round, you wouldn't say no to it. Would you buy it?
Argue.
How
How
does
does
it
it
work?
work? So the canister's installed in the car on the inside. Well, it's
What
just
does a
got
canister
it's
have
like
in it,
Like
though?
it's like an aircon compressed unit. What you have in a car? It's
That's a
basically
fan.
no, but you can have it
There's a
reloaded.
fan that
So
blows
can
the
I
gas.
just confirm something? What you're inventing is air
Yeah,
conditioning.
but inside the suit with like.
yeah, I know. But wouldn't it make more sense just to enclose?
No,
the
because
cockpit and just
I was
have air
thinking of that.
conditioning?
I know. I was thinking of
Yeah,
doing
like
a
a
bowl and
bubble,
like a
right?
Buzz Lightyear kind of fucking helmet, but then it's going to get all dirty. There's going to be
Well,
flies getting
Homer
smashed.
Simpson's car from the
You're going to then need
Simpsons.
to, yeah, exactly, Simpsons, yeah. And then you're going to need like weird, like dodgy window wipers, and it won't fit in with the halo properly and all that. So I went with the suit basically. So
Couldn't they just put like an aircon fan?
well, potentially, but I've just gone within the suit because it's just going to cool every part of your body.
I mean,
innit?
I would have. I tell you what, you know, like when you're in a hot country. So in Dubai is a good example. You know, like you get locked out your house, you die basically, or you get pretty fucked up. So if you could have an air conditioned suit just to walk to the mall, like in the middle of July, and just walk down, and everyone's like, "That guy's mad. He's walking down the road. He looks like he's about to get in a Formula One car."
Why is he
And
dressed as a Formula One
carrying a
driver? Yeah.
canister? That's the thing. What I find fascinating. No, hold on, Ben.
got a
Ben,
breathing
so
issue.
this is what I find fascinating about the way you've worked this out, Boyd. Right? Is you invented something fictional that has no science to it whatsoever. There's no science in what you just said, but you added a canister that needed to be added. So you could have just made a magic suit that cools down because it has as much science as what you just created.
no,
But
because the
you
canister-
created a canister of what?
It's like, it's just got, it's got the
But
gas.
you do know that
it's got the gas that
there are
pushes-
cooling. They're
No, but it
cooling
can-
liquids that they could have just had. They could have like
No, but I'm
engine
just saying,
coolant
though,
going
it's
through them.
obviously-
It would
it's
have been
obviously-
better than a
that
gas
wouldn't-
canister.
it's obviously
that
all
we
That
don't
safe
wouldn't
to
have
use.
worked out on that man on fire, would it? Sorry, I'm just trying to get out of this fire. What's going on? I've just got like flammable liquids
Oh,
pumping
fuck
around my
off.
body.
But then the canister would have exploded
You're
and blown
going
up
down the
his
wrong
whole
road here,
suit,
boys.
wouldn't
Look,
it?
it would be all safe to use, all right? It'd just be a coolant air that goes through the thing. I don't
Would it?
know. That's
How?
the bit I need to invent, all right? Are you investing or not?
This is
No.
no. What in the death of 20 drivers?
I mean, if it
If it
existed,
existed,
like
it'd be good.
an air conditioned coat, I could get on board with that.
Yeah.
Air conditioned blanket, could get on board with that. That's fantastic. But you've invented something that you've got no comprehension. Both of you have done it. You've just come with.
Yours is impossible
Mine's,
to fucking
I think
do
mine's
as
a bit
well,
more.
isn't it?
I can't even remember yours, Ben. What was it?
Life engineering.
Right. So you created.
It's Siri.
So
I've
you
invented Siri.
invented a more sophisticated series specifically for Formula One fans, right? Not going to happen. Boyd come up with an air coolant suit that has a tank next to it, and he doesn't know what it's going to be in. I actually came up with an idea that the economics of it work.
All right.
Look,
I
I'll
think-
tell you what
but I
though,
think we all
if you
agreed that your
combine
idea
all
was
of
really
them,
good.
if you're living in Dubai, you can put my suit on, walk down the shop with your
And then
Siri,
it's a
yeah,
suit
with
that
your
you can put
Siri app
advertising
going,
on
I'm
and
going to go
it
and get a
tells
lottery
you how old
ticket,
you
get your
are.
lottery ticket, and then advertise all over your fucking suit. So we've all hit a winner
They
there.
win. They're all good ideas.
Combined, yeah.
No.
There's no bad
Yeah,
ideas.
it's never a bad idea.
That was bloody brilliant debate there. I
I
think
don't
we've
think
come
the
up with
Dragons would
three
invest in any of that if I'm
relatively
honest.
useless ideas. I think the advertising one
Yeah,
probably
cool.
the
It was
best
a lot
one
more
out of the three.
business
I'm
sort
going
of
to
led
say.
that one when ours were a bit silly.
Yeah, I feel like you'd put a lot of effort into it, and then maybe
Mate,
already a business plan in place.
You should understand some of the ideas that are on the cutting room floor that are to be scooped up later on. My future is bright when it comes to F1 business ideas. I've got about 6, and they're all great.
Yeah,
That's it.
I can't wait. Do we get to be part of the investment because we're on a podcast? together?
No,
Why?
probably not.
Oh,
I don't know. I just don't feel
Little
like
side
with
hustle.
your shit business acumen that you've just demonstrated with the cooling suit and the other one.
Well,
Look, the cooling suit's getting talked about a
cooling
lot.
suit,
So
I think, is the
I
one
think I've
idea.
done all right.
It's blowing
It's
up,
not- by
it's
who?
blowing up on Twitter.
With my
literally
with
blowing
my
up. It
fucking
catches
great movie
fire.
idea last week, All or Nothing, plus the cooling suit, I've fucking nailed
all
it. both
or
ways.
nothing. Yeah, I would love to see All or Nothing,
Yeah,
the
exactly. I'll-
Pierre
I'm
Gasly
gonna get it
story.
written, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I can. West End show.
Yeah.
But I mean, so who's the winner? Who's the clear-cut winner here then? We're going with the lottery ticket, yeah?
Oh, me.
Brad.
It's
He
obvious.
wins. Brad
I
wins.
was the only
Brad
person
wins
who
it.
came to this with an actual business that could work.
Mine was just. I thought it was meant to be silly.
Ben, long
you've
story
come
short,
with
you
something
went,
that's
I'm
actually
gonna
a reasonably
build a-
good
Because if
idea.
you're making things up, you just go, oh, I'm going to invent a car that goes 6 times faster than
Ben-
everyone else.
No, but I think
How?
I think,
It doesn't matter.
I think
It's an
F1
idea.
Ben, have you-
Siri
Ben's
is
invented
better
Angry
than
Birds 7.
fucking-
It's a great game. It's a great game. I'm
It's
trying to reinvent
Angry Birds,
aircon that's been
but
around for
it's
ages.
7 on
So,
from the first one.
Not a problem. But if I went on the Dragon's Den, they've got all that heaps of cash on their little things. I'd
Right.
just go in there with a gun and go, it's quite simple. Put that money in that bag and I would leave. That's how I get the money. That's my plan.
Good.
Yeah.
on TV. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, they're not going to know it was you. Will you be wearing Lewis Hamilton's like woolen gimp mask when you did
I'm 90% sure that the top note in that stack is maybe a photocopy, and everything else is just newspaper, like from an old gangster film where they pull the switcheroo. Where's Ben gone?
Fucking hell.
Wait, we just lost
Viewers,
Ben.
Ben's dropped. I mean, he was so devastated about his Angry Birds 7 idea.
He's
Ben,
back.
where'd you go, mate?
I pressed the back button on my mouse by accident.
You can't change your
Oh,
idea
you-
now, mate. It's done. It's locked in and you lost. Don't worry about
You
it.
can't
Yeah.
reverse time, mate. The back
You've got no
button doesn't
flying
reverse-
DeLorean.
I just
in,
pit
mate.
stopped in to change my idea. Well, I think that was a very good episode, everyone. I hope you
I
enjoyed
feel like
that.
the time. I feel that flat went quick today. I think it's
Yeah.
because we had so much more to talk about because of the F1 that was on.
Well,
like,
there was
half an hour.
F1 for the first time in 4 weeks, so that was probably why it went quite well.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest. I think I prefer the fictional news or the silly.
Do you? What's in the
news
actual
than what
talking
happens.
about actual
There's a lot
F1?
of pressure. I feel we veer into being like F1
Yeah.
nerds, and the core. Like as I was watching the F1 earlier, I started to learn things.
Turn
And
it
when I
off.
watched that Horner documentary, I was learning things, and I thought this is going to take away the core value I bring
Which is-
to the podcast, which is I don't
Yeah.
really know anything. The more I learn, the less
A
valuable
lot of
I'm
people
gonna
have said
be. So-
feedback as well that it is better when we just come off piste and
Yeah,
talk
I
a bit
think
of
we
shit,
still
to be
went
fair.
off piste and we tried to avoid talking about like strategies and stuff and more just mocking things. You know, and I'm sure we'll get some feedback again on this episode, people. But make sure when you do your feedback, it's with a 5-star rating on Apple
Yeah.
Podcast and Spotify.
Well, we will hunt you down.
Yeah,
and
make sure
kill
it's
you.
because you've only had like 3 or 4 ratings, and I think 2 of them are from us, and 1 of them's from Brad's wife. So we just need to get a few more ratings, a few more.
yeah, a lot of people have said they've done it.
Yeah,
and
because I
they've
can
lied.
check.
So we know who you are.
Yeah.
We know who the liars
Yeah.
are.
So
Right, Boyd, why don't you close up the episode?
I will close it, guys,
The
because I did
final bit.
open it. So join us next week. We are in the Netherlands next week, so hopefully we'll see what happens. See if Max and Verstappen can bring it home again. And tune in next week. 5-star ratings, please. Nothing less. See you next week.
Everybody has a target on their backs next year.